Okay, it is 7:01, so I will call the meeting to order. Welcome to those of you that are in the gallery. This is the regular meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, held in council chambers at 216 Main Street West, Swan River, Manitoba, this 22nd day of June 2021 at 7 p.m. Present myself, Deputy Reeve Blosha, Councillors Foster, Wills, Kushniryk, and Pierrepont, as well as our CAO James Webb. First resolution, resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of council held this 22nd day of June 2021 shall be adopted as circulated. Do we have a mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Kushniryk.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Blosha. Any changes requested to the agenda? If not, all in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Next resolution, resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West, held on June 8th, 2021, shall be adopted as circulated. A mover for that resolution, please. Moved by Councillor Wills, seconded by Councillor Foster. Are there any errors or omissions? There being none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Yep.
That is carried. Move on to 7.1. Resolved that the Swan River Fire Department report for May 2021 shall be received by the council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West. And move for that resolution, please.
I'll move that.
Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any questions or comments on the report? Not all in favor? That is carried. Seven point two, resolved that the Benito Fire Department report for May 2021 shall be received by the council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West. A mover for that resolution. Moved by Councillor Foster.
I'll second.
Seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions on that report? Not all in favor? That's carried.
This is one that, okay, yeah. It's 183 and 193 north, yeah. That's an alpine. That one should be, we'll talk about that one maybe later, yeah.
Next resolution, whereas a request has been received from the town of Swan River regarding their annual Canada Day fireworks. Be it resolved that a grant in the sum of blank shall be paid to the town of Swan River to assist with the costs of the fireworks for Canada Day. Do we have a mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Kushniryk. Seconded by
I'll second.
Councillor Wills. As the mover, Councillor Kushniryk, would you like to suggest a number for the amount of the grant? Last year, we had granted them
$500.
500.
I'd like to suggest the $500 again. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Other suggestions? If not, all in favor? It's carried. Next resolution, whereas the request has been received from the LUD of Benito regarding their annual Canada Day fireworks, be it resolved that a grant in the sum of, again a blank, shall be paid to the LUD of Benito to assist with the cost of the fireworks for Canada Day. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster, seconded by Councillor Blosha.
What was it last year, 500 or was it?
We didn't do it last year, it's usually put on by the rec department.
Rec department usually puts it on and we give a donation.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
LUD matches it. This year, since the rec department couldn't do any fundraising for it, we thought we'd try to help out, and we figured if we could each give $700, it would almost cover the cost.
Yeah,
That's my
what the
suggestion.
LUD is.
Yes, that's what the
Yeah.
LUD is prepared to contribute as well.
sure.
Because they
Some
won't
questions
have
here,
their-
further on the
Yeah.
availability.
They expect it's gonna be available, they're gonna wait to see what the funding comes in. They usually spend around $1,600 to $1,700. We said that it might be worth, spending a little bit more this year, just so that it's higher and better. And so, they're, at the same time as we're approving this, the LED approved, they're gonna try to get some extra money together as well. But they should know by Thursday.
And we also have a couple firemen that will do it.
Managing.
They've already,
They have experience.
yes.
Yeah,
They usually do it?
They usually do it, but,
Yeah.
being July 1st if you're away or whatever, but they have agreed to do it.
So 7 from us and 7 from Million, is that enough to cover it?
Close. There's always some donations.
Okay.
Okay, we penciled in $700 in. Any further questions or comments? If not, all in favor? That is carried.
I think if we can go to the public hearing now, 7:10.
Next resolution, resolved that we do hereby adjourn the regular meeting of council at 7:10 PM to open the following public hearing. A variance application for northwest one quarter of section 293427W. Be it further resolved that we shall reconvene the regular meeting of council immediately following the adjournment of said public hearing. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Kushniryk. Seconded by Councillor Wills. All in favor? That is carried. Welcome all to the public hearing. This is a public hearing held by the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West in council chambers at 216 Main Street West, Swan River, Manitoba, this 22nd day of June 2021 at 7:10 PM. Regarding the variance application concerning the property known as the northwest one quarter of section 293427W. Present, myself, Deputy Reeve Blosha, Councillors Foster, Kushniryk, Wills, and Pierrepont, as well as our CAO, James Webb. If there's anyone in the gallery who wishes to make a comment either for or against said variance, we will give you the floor at this time. We have a resolution here that should have been prior to that. Resolved that the Council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West shall hereby call to order the public hearing regarding the variance application on the property known as the northwest one quarter of section 293427 WPM this 22nd day of June at 7:11 p.m. Do we have a mover for that, please?
I'll move.
Moved by Councillor Wills, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, we will now open the floor to anyone who has either pro or con to say about the variance. One more time, I will ask anyone in the gallery has any comment regarding the variance application, either pro or con. Thank you. If not, we will continue with the next resolution. Whereas the Council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West has received an application for a variance on a property known as the Park Northwest 1/4 Section 293427 WPM, specifically to increase the maximum site area from 10 acres to 11.91 acres on proposed parcel B and A shared driveway within the AG agricultural zone as per table 4.1 of zoning bylaw number 2383-04. And whereas notice of the public hearing was posted and delivered to adjacent landowners in accordance with Part 6 of the Planning Act, and the municipality has not received any objections with respect to said variance. Therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West does hereby approve the aforementioned variance as per the application dated April 28, 2021, and shall issue variance order number 2021-01, and be it further resolved that the Reeve shall be authorized to sign said order on behalf of the municipality. Okay, moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions or comments? If not, we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Next resolution, resolved that the public hearing for the Northwest 293427 WPM shall now adjourn at 7:14 p.m. Mover for that resolution. Moved by Councillor Kushniryk. Seconded by Councillor Foster.
What's that?
All in favor? That is carried. Resolved that the regular meeting of the Council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West shall now reopen at 7:15 p.m. to proceed with the regular business of Council. A mover for that resolution. Councillor Blosha. Seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. All in favor? That is carried.
Jeremy, have you joined us?
I'm here, yes.
Okay, super. Were you on from the start?
It is 7:15, but seeing as how Jeremy is here and he was slated for 7:25, we will give him the floor 10 minutes early. How's that, Jeremy?
Very well, yeah.
Welcome.
Great. Thank you. Okay, let's start by saying I appreciate Council's accommodations in providing a means of attending these meetings, even though members of the public cannot be there in person. I hope we all know that the public health orders do not apply to the regular business of council, but I understand the need to follow these public health orders somewhat, in the public interest. And there certainly has been a good reason to follow those public health orders in this last year. I would like to petition council for me to attend these meetings in person again. I've had some concerns in recent months with the meeting not being recorded on not one but two occasions in the last 2 months. And that has resulted in not only me missing out on recording the meeting for the purposes of our contract, but also for the purposes of my newspaper job, which it just doesn't allow me to do my job properly when I don't have a meeting that's been recorded, especially on the recent financial plan hearing. So I think it would be wise to allow me back into the physical council chamber in order to allow me to take the responsibility of making sure that the equipment is running properly. I think you are paying me for a service, and you haven't been getting the full service of what you're paying for. So I would petition that not only do you let me back into the chamber to run the audio recording, but I would also like to begin video recording again as well. Now, of course, I understand that the purpose of not allowing the public into the chamber is to allow appropriate social distancing between people that are in the room, because the room is small enough that there isn't a lot of adequate space to allow many members of the public. However, if I'm allowed into the chamber, there is more than enough room for me to sit, if not in the immediate room, in the adjacent room, or far enough in the back, with lots of adequate space in between myself and council members. In addition to that, come the next regular public meeting, I will be 2 weeks past fully vaccinated, so that makes the risk even less so. And I would expect that, if not some, at least all of the council members have also been fully vaccinated or partially vaccinated. I would love to see if the public come back. The public has come back into the council chamber, but I understand why that might not be the best choice at this time. So essentially, the point of my presentation is I want to provide a little bit more accountability to council by allowing me to take the responsibility of setting the recording equipment and not have any sort of doubt placed on somebody that is either on council or employed by council. Well, I guess I am employed by council, but I think it's important that that responsibility be put back on me. just to add an extra layer of distance between who is to take responsibility if a technical mistake or otherwise is made. And I think that is all I had to add. If anybody has any questions or concerns, I guess now is the time.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate you laying out your case. Just want you and the rest of the public to know we were aware that local governments were not restricted in any way, shape, or form with regard to council attendance at meetings. However, we wanted to set a good example to the public because it's difficult when we do one thing and the public is asked to do another thing. So that was a point well taken, and that is the reason that we handled it the way that we did. We too cannot wait until the meetings are fully open again. And apparently tomorrow or sometime this week, the Premier and top doctor in the province will be setting out the new guidelines, and we expect there to be a lessening of restrictions as we go forward. And it's true that many people have already had their first vaccination shot, and many are slated to have their second in the next week or two. So hopefully by the next meeting, a regular meeting, which will be in July, things will have loosened up slightly. I think our CEO has a question as well, or a comment.
Yeah, just for clarification, there was 2 meetings that wasn't recorded. The first one was a malfunction of the equipment. It recorded, but it didn't save when we closed the meeting. That was absolutely what happened. The recording was on. When we shut it off, it didn't save. The second meeting was a public hearing, and we didn't record that. We had a special meeting, we recorded that one. So if that was the one you're referring to, that was wasn't intended, I guess, because we didn't have the we weren't recording it, but we were recording the council meeting shortly after that.
Those were the 2 meetings in question, yeah.
Yes, okay, just for clarification for the record.
Anyone else have a question or comment of Jeremy? If not, thank you for your presentation, Jeremy, and we will deal with your request. Thanks again.
Yep.
Next resolution. Resolved that bylaw number 0086-21, being a bylaw of the Municipality of Swan Valley West for the purposes of amending bylaw number 0083-20 to include the elected members of the LUD of Benito in the definition under council for the purpose of this bylaw only, so as to include them in the code of conduct and responsibilities that go with elected office, and it shall be introduced and read a first time this 22nd day of June 2021. Do we have a mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Wills. Seconded by Councillor Foster. Any comments or questions? If not, we have a recorded vote going. Councillor Kushniryk.
Yes.
Councillor Pierrepont.
Yes.
Councillor Wills.
Yes.
Councillor Foster.
Yes.
Councillor Blosha.
Yes.
And yes for myself. Declare the resolution carried. Next resolution. Resolved that bylaw number 0087-21, being a bylaw of the Municipality of Swan Valley West for the purposes of amending bylaw number 0079-19 to update part 15.5A, setting the time to address the question or in reply to a question from 15 minutes to 5 minutes in order to keep the pace and length of meetings within reason, as well as allowing for all questions to be addressed appropriately. And this shall be introduced and read the first time this 22nd day of June 2021.
You just read the number wrong here. You said 007919, it's 007619 on my paper.
Yeah.
Did I mark that wrong in there?
It's written as 770 or 0079-19.
On mine it says 007619.
Mine too.
Yeah, that's what mine says.
So I think it's 79, 19. I can just double check that for you. Thanks for. I changed, the other one was recorded wrong as well. So this is 7619, that's correct.
7619?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, purpose amending bylaw number 0076-19. Everyone understand or clear? A motion, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha. Seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions or comments? Again, we have a recorded vote for this one. Councillor Kushniryk.
Yes.
Councillor Pierrepont.
Yes.
Councillor Wills.
Yes.
Councillor Foster.
Yes.
Councillor Blosha.
Yes.
And yes for myself. Resolution is carried. Next resolution, whereas Section 80 of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act requires that each local public body designate a person or group of persons as its head for the purposes of this act. And whereas the Municipality of Swan Valley West is a local public body under the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, therefore be resolved that the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West shall hereby be designated as the head of the Municipality of Swan Valley West for the purposes of Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, effective June 22nd, 2021. A mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Pierrepont. Seconded by Councillor Kushniryk. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Next resolution. We, the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, pursuant to Section 81 of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, do hereby delegate to the person occupying the following positions. CAO in the Municipality of Swan Valley West, the duties, powers, and responsibilities specified in the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, which have been imposed or granted to us by resolution as the head of the local public body under this act. This delegation is effective as of June 23rd, 2021, and remains in force until it is revoked in writing. A mover for that resolution, moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Wills. questions or comments on this? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Next resolution, resolved that the Board of Revision for the 2021 assessment roll shall be set for Tuesday, November 9th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, 216 Main Street West, Swan River, Manitoba. Be it resolved that members of council shall sit as a board for the purposes of hearing applications for revision of 2022 assessments under subsection 42, sub 1 of the Municipal Assessment Act, with the Reeve to sit as the chairman of the board and chief administrative officer to sit as the secretary of the board, and be it further resolved that the deadline to submit applications for revision of the 2022 assessments shall be set as October 25th, 2021, and be it further resolved that all necessary advertising, mailing, and postings of the notice for said hearing shall be made in accordance with the Municipal Act. A mover for that resolution. Moved by Councillor Bills, seconded by Councillor Kushniryk. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Next resolution, whereas Bell Mtgs has made application to the Municipality of Swan Valley West to perform directional boring across roads 224 north and road 160 west and plow along the northeast of section 83827W to replace defective cable as per attached. Be it further resolved that the Council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West grant permission to perform the said work in the right-of-way as requested. And be it further resolved that the CAO shall sign the agreement and request notice be given before starting and when the work is completed on behalf of the Municipality of Swan Valley West. Mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? It is carried. Item 11, next resolution. Whereas Rail Safety Week is to be held across Canada from September 20th to 26th, 2021, and whereas it is in the public's interest to raise citizens' awareness of the dangers of ignoring safety warnings at level crossings and trespassing on rail property to reduce avoidable deaths, injuries, and damage caused by incidents involving trains and citizens. Whereas Operations Lifesaver is a public/private partnership whose aim is to work with the public, the rail industry, governments, police services, media, and others to raise rail safety awareness. And whereas CN has requested that the Municipal Council adopt this resolution in support of its ongoing efforts to raise awareness, save lives, prevent injuries in communities, including our municipality. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster,
I'll second.
seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions, comments? If not, all in favor? It is carried. Next resolution. Whereas the building inspector has assessed the condition of the structures on the following properties owned by the Municipality of Swan Valley West in Benito and found them to be beyond repair. Roll number 324-700.000. Civic address 107 Government Road in the LUD of Benito. Therefore be it resolved that we do hereby authorize the bylaw enforcement officer, fire chief, rural public works lead hand, and the chief administrative officer to make the necessary arrangements to obtain permits and make arrangements for the demolition or burning for fire practice, the structures and the yard cleanup on the above noted property as soon as it is practical and municipal equipment and manpower are available. And be it further resolved, if the actual cost for equipment and staff shall be charged to the property. Do we have a mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Wills. Any comments, questions? If not, all in favor? It's carried. Next resolution, resolved that the building and plumbing permit fee update on June 22nd, 2021 shall be approved as submitted by the council for the Municipality of Swan Valley West. A mover for that resolution? Moved by Councillor Kushniryk. Seconded by Councillor Pierrepont. Any comments? Questions?
Just a comment on this, if I can just take a look at that date here. So the way we had it in the first version was we had additions and renovations on the same line. And we asked for that to be separated out, so additions is $100 minimum, and then you refer to the square footage charge above. And for renovations, it's $100. It wasn't very clear when it was written last time because it had those both in the same line. I didn't know which one it referred to. So additions is a minimum of $100 and charged by the square foot. Renovations is just $100.
Just a straight 100, no fee.
Right, yes. So that clarifies it.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor? It's carried. Next resolution. Whereas the people, businesses, and organizations of the Swan Valley have generously contributed to the Thunder Hill Ski Club expansion project through the municipality. And whereas the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West has received a request from Thunder Hill Ski Club to partner with them to fund their expansion project, including a chalet and bike trails. Whereas the council believes that it is important to have recreational facilities in the municipality to promote active living and especially to take advantage of the local resource such as Thunder Hill, which is very suitable to skiing, biking, and hiking activities. Whereas the council believes that the Thunder Hill Ski Club is a trusted partner to carry out the building, maintaining, and operations of the Thunder Hill recreation activities. And whereas CRA approves of a municipality partnering with other organizations to carry out charitable activities under CG 004, using an intermediary, and that the activities meet the public benefit test under CPS-024. Resolved that the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West does hereby partner with the Thunder Hill Ski Club to carry out the expansion project of the chalet and bike trails. Be it further resolved that the council does hereby approve the transfer of funds for the expansion project, understanding that an accounting for the funds transferred will be reported to council. Therefore be it resolved that council does hereby agree to transfer funding for the project to this point of $170,000 on check number 17048. A mover for that resolution. Moved by Councillor Blosha, seconded by Councillor Wills. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Into finance. Next resolution. Be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. General checks number 17004 to 17047 in the amount of $277,482.68. A mover for that resolution, please. Moved by Councillor Foster. Seconded by Councillor Kushniryk. Any questions on any of the checks?
On the dust control, did they come in on budgets over there?
I haven't finalized that yet,
Okay.
but I think we came pretty close.
Pretty close, eh? Yeah.
Seems to be pretty close to what it was last year too, so.
Yeah. No, I was just looking at that.
We had to do a few extra touch-ups, so
Yeah,
we have another tank that we use besides this.
okay, sure.
Any other questions? Not, all in favor? That's carried. Next resolution, be it resolved that Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. Payroll payments, checks number 3662 to 3678 in the amount of $21,412.51. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Blosha. Seconded by Councillor Wills. Any questions on that checklist?
That was
If not, all in favor?
last day.
That's carried.
Just want to speak to each of the three. I don't know if you're ready to, I just put the financials in your package tonight, so more or less just a placeholder, because you haven't had a chance to review them, just to let you know they are to this point, and the next meeting I'll have May, so we can table this one until next time, but just so you know it is ready to go, and May is going to be available.
Can we just backtrack 1 second?
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
17047. Why are we buying boots for somebody that's no longer with us?
Oh. The last check that I signed
Yes, that,
was troubling.
that is very troubling. It was the last day of work, and they went and took advantage of our generosity at the store. They are allowed to charge there, and they picked them up after work, after they were done working. And so it's going to spoil it for everybody a little bit, but at this point,
How does a seasonal operator get a work boot allowance?
yes. So that's something that will have to be changed starting July 1st.
Deducted.
It's not available for deductions.
It is what it is, eh?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So a seasonal is covered, a seasonal gets a pair of work boots
Yeah,
every 2 years?
every year.
Well, it's $300 every 2 years, right?
Right, 150
Yeah, so what, if you spend $150, you can do a
every
boots
year.
every year, yeah.
That's right. So it was disheartening because, you know, it was on the trust basis, but I went back and I checked the person when they last bought a pair of boots, and they hadn't had one for 2 years, so. But it's still in your face when it happens after the clock was punched on your last day of work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, at that time, he's no longer employed.
Mm-hmm.
Good employees.
Okay, unless someone has a question that they've popped into their mind with the few minutes that you, an hour or so that you've had to review the financials, we will table it and move on, table it to the next meeting. Okay, number 9, gravel map, printing and publishing for public access. I had a couple of individuals asking about there being a gravel map available for them to look at when they come into the office. And I agree that there should be. I also agree that there should probably be 2 years back. So 3 different maps that would be available, 19, 20, and 21. And I think administration is working to that end so that they are readily available for any taxpayer who wishes to come and view them and see for themselves if their road has been gravelled in the last year or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I like that 3-year idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So that'll be a map that's available, printed and available on the counter.
Oh, you're gonna reduce them in size?
Or,
I would think that there should be a full-size map
okay.
that you need hand, that is available behind the counter, not to give out,
Okay.
but for ratepayers or taxpayers to view and hand back. And it's excellent if you have small ones printed for them to take. That's very good.
It's pretty easy to take a screenshot of it now, too.
Yes, that's true. And it was suggested that we put it on our website so they can, you know, zoom in, and that
That's a
might
real
be
good idea.
handy too, because it might just be a matter of just zooming in, seeing what's happened, and then back out again. Okay, we'll work on that.
Okay, we'll move on to correspondence, 10.1.
Right here. I handed 2 copies of it, didn't realize you had it, but that's the same one. So this is just basically saying that what we passed for zoning is approved, so.
10.2, NSM transition plan. So the idea is to have the producer become fully responsible for recycling material.
Yeah, so there's, I think there's going to be a presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I'll have more information next time, but this is available to anybody that would like to.
And that is on
28th and 29th.
June 29th.
You can pick one of the sessions.
Or June 28th. That one I could do the 29th, I cannot.
snacks for anybody, we could just set it up in here and.
I might be able to make it for that.
Early lunch.
Yeah.
Did you say you're buying lunch? Speaking of lunch,
All of a sudden, everybody's coming down.
Yeah.
I think it would be good because recycling is gonna be pretty important to us at the beginning of, or end of 21, 22, when we decide
Yeah.
path forward, so.
Yeah, good point.
That's good.
I know it's almost impossible to get a recycling bin in town, but
A big one,
I've been waiting 2 months.
a big one you're waiting for.
So we've been waiting a couple months to get ours moved, and they're trying to coordinate a trailer coming up, because we can't move them ourselves. They want to have the liability for anything that happens, so we're in the same boat.
Well, good, I'll fill ours up then.
There you go.
This is to do with noxious weeds. We do have a couple of species that have invaded, especially to the north end of the municipality apparently. I believe now they are going to recompensate or compensate for spraying.
Do we have somebody now that's spraying for us?
No, we don't. That's one of the unfortunate things. We don't have a weed district. Weed district is very expensive to set up and to maintain, obviously, but there are some advantages to having it. They could do roadside spraying as well. This is more for information. This is from Courageous Canine Advertising. Your reading council, have you all got a copy of that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Have you all had a chance to read it, or do you want me to read it?
Everybody's got their front page.
Everyone's got a copy? So they're looking for some money in exchange for advertising.
Where do they come from?
I'm not sure where they are out of, actually. I've seen them advertised online as well. Can't even tell by the phone number because the phone number is toll free.
Yeah.
We, over the last couple of years, we've given to the local organizations,
Mhm.
the Legion and such.
Oh,
Yes.
You know, for that cause. So, you know, we've in the past we've done Northern Ontario, Manitoba, Northern Ontario organizations. We've also tried to support it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
okay, that's for your consideration. Okay, we come to number 12, committee reports, communications. Start at the bottom this time, Councillor Pierrepont.
It looks like the middle to me.
Pardon? Looks like the middle to you. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's not quite the middle though.
Well, I attended a shared services meeting and I dealt with some ratepayer concerns over dust control, graveling, and beavers. It's becoming a large problem in our area again. And I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Blosha.
June 15th, I attended the LUD meeting, and as Darryl said, we have beavers up our way to, there's some roads that they're wreaking havoc with. So I think they were looking into it.
Councillor Kushniryk.
Just the shared services meeting there.
Told it me.
Yeah, I guess we'll be dealing with that later.
Yep. Thank you. Councillor Foster.
Had ratepayer concerns about beavers too, there, and roads. Had to go check on a few roads and that there being punched out by loggers,
Trees.
trees.
Thank you. Councillor Wills.
Couple of trees off.
I don't think I attended any meetings in the last couple of weeks.
Just a tree.
Just a tree. Took a tree off the hill north of the Crestview Bridge one night. That was about it.
Wow, a tree.
Yeah.
Wind blew it over.
Right across the road. I had the same thing that night. I phoned. Actually, they phoned me and I phoned Matt. And by the time I got to Matt, I had to cut through 2 other trees to get to Matt. So
It was a windy day.
A real chainsaw artist, huh?
I didn't even use a chainsaw, I just used my truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have come for the did something then. Okay, Councillor Gade is not here. Myself, I attended a shared services meeting, as well as quite a number of ratepayer concerns regard to a couple of roads that were in very, very bad condition because of heavy traffic on them, truck traffic, as well as the gravel map concern of a couple of people, and that has been taken care of, or is in the process of being taken care of. Excellent. Our CAO.
Shared services, an LUD meeting, and many ratepayers' concerns each day being phoned in. Everything from utilities, dust of gravel, to operations, taxes, and etc. So it's been very interesting.
Okay, a resolution to accept them. Resolved that we do hereby accept the following verbal reports regarding council committees and communications. Councillor Kushniryk, Shared Services. Councillor Blosha, LED meeting, beaver problems. Councillor Wills, did not attend any meetings but dealt with a tree over the bridge. Councillor Pierrepont, Shared Services, ratepayers, dust control, gravel, and beavers. Councillor Foster, ratepayers regarding beavers and roads. Myself, shared services meeting, ratepayers, road concerns, and gravel map questions. Our CAO, shared services LUD meeting, and ratepayers concerns on a daily basis. A mover for this resolution, please. Moved by Councillor Pierrepont. Seconded by Councillor Foster. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, to those in the gallery, we have come to the point in the meeting where we open the floor to any comments or questions regarding topics that were discussed at this evening's meeting, and we invite you to participate by way of a question or a comment if you have.
Yeah, this is Marty.
Hi Marty, go ahead.
Yeah, I just need to confirm the money that's going from the RM to the Thunder Hill Committee, that money is passing through the RM, it's not a grant. That's right?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
With regards to Jeremy Bergen's presentation, I think him attending would be an excellent idea. Just shows that there is that transparency that people bitch they don't get.
Well, we are hoping to allow, as I say, more and more as more and more people are vaccinated and restrictions are relaxed.
Yeah, I as a ratepayer don't mind using the phone at all. But I think, because of the fact that he does represent the newspaper, but also has a contract with the RM, he just opens it up a bit more.
Yeah, thank you. Point well taken. Any other comments or questions? There being none, thank you very much again to those who do attend by telephone. I know that you probably get a cauliflower ear unless you've got a speakerphone. So thank you again and have a good evening.
Have a good evening and good luck in the rest of it.
Thank you.
See you in another 2 weeks.
You betcha. Okay, we will take a 10-minute recess prior to going. We will call the meeting back to order. Resolved that pursuant to section 152 sub 3 of the Municipal Act, the council as a whole shall go into camera and close the meeting to continue discussions regarding employee concerns, ratepayer concerns, shared services, and code of conduct. The mover, please. Moved by Councillor Kushniryk. Seconded by Councillor Wills. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, next resolution. Resolved that pursuant to section 152 sub 4 of the Municipal Act, the meeting shall be reopened to the public. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Pierrepont. Second by Councillor Foster. All in favor? It's carried. Next resolution. Whereas the provincially approved third-party intake reviewer has accepted Code of Conduct Complaint Number 8 based on allegations of impropriety leveled against municipal employees. Therefore be it resolved that council hereby accepts the decision to accept the said complaint. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Wills.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Blosha. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? That is carried. Okay, is there anything else before we move to adjourn? Resolved that this meeting shall now adjourn at 9:33 p.m. Be it further resolved that the next meeting is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021 at 7 p.m. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Foster.
He's back.
Seconded by Councillor Kushniryk.
Maybe things will smarten up now. Think.
All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried.
Don't forget
Thank you all
to...
for coming.
So quick